Hi, John and Caleb here. We are back with another episode of our Culture of Care video series. And Caleb, as we've been talking about over the last several weeks, that everyone goes through periods of time to where we realize that we need some help to be able to walk alongside. I'd like to ask you today, has there been things you've learned recently regarding your own individual life about understanding that this culture of care involves you too?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I know like we've both talked about some things that happened in our past, and your more recent health scare. But for me, I had one that it's a little different, but for me, it's really relevant to how we interact, not just with someone that in a typical sense of a health crisis or a divorce or some kind of like actual emotional meltdown kind of thing. But I had one more recently where the church has grown and things are going on crazy here, and it was just a season where I was picking up more and more responsibility, and I was doing a lot of great things. But in the doing of great things, there were some things on the side that were paying prices that I didn't realize, and it actually culminated in me getting a letter from my wife, basically telling me.
That's never a good sign.
It's never a good sign.
That is never good.
Yeah, and if you know my wife, she doesn't speak a whole lot. So when she does speak,
Yes. She's a lot
something.
like her mother.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got this letter just saying, I've resigned that this is the way it is, that we're just gonna get the leftovers, and it was one of those moments where I had to like really do some internalizing. Like, is that really what I want for my family? Is that really healthy? Not only for my family, but for me.
Yeah.
And we were going through the thing you were going through, almost all this kind of at the same time. And it was one of those things where I realized, no, that's not healthy. And I do need some people to help hold me to account when I'm doing more than I should, or I'm taking on more things than I should, and help me keep the focus on if I'm not healthy and my family's not healthy, my ministry won't be healthy.
Yeah.
And so I've had to kind of come to grips with the reality that, it's okay that I'm not Superman. I can't carry it all.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times as pastors and as people in leadership, you can really get yourself in a position where you're like, I can just do that, or I'll just take that, or that someone's got to get done, I'm going to get it done. And you end up with this Superman mentality. And
I can't relate to that at all.
No, never, right? But it's been really good because since that's come to light, obviously going to my wife and say, hey, I need you to hold me to account. Don't let this get to this place. But then going to some other men and sharing this and saying, hey, if you see me in this role where I'm feel like I'm neglecting things, I want you to be able to speak into me because I want health to my family. And that's that culture of coming alongside.
Yeah.
So it may look like for some, like when I was going through my divorce, like I talked about, that was a whole different season, and what I needed that season was different. Or when you were dealing with your depression, like those things are real, but you can have things like my situation that are not that level, but still you really need people to walk alongside of you, or you get to that level if you're not careful.
And you know what complicates that, I think, is because you are doing good things.
Yeah.
You are doing things that help other people. You are taking on those things. So we rationalize that. And then we begin to neglect the most important things. So allowing people into your life to help you become the most effective instead of just surviving, I think is part of that journey.
Yeah, it is. And we have to be willing to be honest with ourselves first. Yeah. The first step is really being honest. Is there some issue? And when people are pointing it out, can you be honest enough with yourself to say, yeah, I'm not healthy?
Yeah.
And then take that next step, which is the scarier part of saying, will you help me?
Yeah.
I think that's really important today. So I hope you guys can take that out today.
Yeah.
That it's complicated because it always deals with pain and struggles and things in our life, but it's where God wants to meet us, and He's always faithful to meet us there if we will just allow Him to bring those people to us. At least that's been my experience. I'm sure it's yours too.
It is, and I think if you're watching this video, you may relate to some of that. Maybe your life is so consumed with activity and busyness, and you're beginning to neglect the most important things. Allow some people to come alongside of you. Allow some people to expose those blind spots. Allow some people to support you so you can be the best that God desires for you to be. And that, in essence, is what the culture of care is really all about.
Absolutely.
So we encourage you, if you need anything, please reach out, and we hope that you will be able to be encouraged by the journey that's taking place with all of us as we're all on this path together. So God bless you guys.